Most badminton players used to know very little about what elite badminton even looked like. You trained at your local club, you played the same people every week, and your reference point was whoever was the best in your hall. That was your entire reality back then. But today, it's different. Today, everybody is exposed to elite badminton, every single day. They see in social media, Instagram, YouTube, etc., Olympic clips, training camps, footwork technique, highlights, and even players your age playing at insane level. So what happens when you see someone doing something you can't do yet? You compare, and eventually you think, I want that too. Now some people will say comparison is toxic. I'm a little bit like, what? It's natural development of where sports and technology are right now. Because comparison creates pressure. Pressure creates action, and action creates improvement. So seeing elite badminton isn't the problem. The problem is seeing it and then training the same way you have always trained. Now, that leads to the question that decides everything. Is it even possible for you to become elite in badminton? Because badminton is not like gym motivation. You can train hard for years and still be the same player. So this video is not drills, this is not here's 10 tips, this is perspective plus systems. And I'm not here to entertain you. So if you want to stay average, click off. And if you want to understand what it takes to actually create elite players, stay here and watch this from beginning to the end. Let me hit you with a free reality check. Most players watching this will never go elite. Not because they're untalented, because their routine is identical to their competition. Read that again. You want elite results with normal routines. You want pro outcomes with average standards. That's not how this works. So I wrote down 6 points, and if you actually understand them and apply them, your progress will speed up like crazy. So let's start. Point number 1. It's okay not to be a talent. I'm going to say something that might piss you off a little bit, but the truth is, most players are not stuck because of genetics. They're stuck because they don't understand what creates skill. Badminton skill is not just technique. Badminton is early reading, decision speed, timing under pressure, relaxation at high tempo, repeat explosiveness, and emotional control. And here's the key. You can be skilled in warm-up drills and still be very useless in real matches, because rallies, normal match rallies, are chaos. So if you've been telling yourself, I'm not talented enough, you're usually using that as an excuse to avoid the real work, training the right things. No, you might be thinking, okay, what are the right things? Good. Because that leads us into point number 2. Nothing is perfect in badminton. And badminton is especially not perfect. Most systems around badminton are outdated. Most training is copied. Most clubs reward comfort. Most players are doing the same patterns, the same footwork, the same drills. And then they're shocked when nothing changes in matches. So where do you fit in? Here's where you fit in. If the system is flawed, it's moldable. That's the opportunity. Because think about this. If badminton training was truly modern, why are injuries so common? Why are juniors burning out? Why do players plateau for 2 to 4 years doing hard work? That means something. A lot of players are working hard in the wrong direction, not lack of effort. And once you accept that, you stop blaming talent. You start fixing inputs. Now, here's the caveat. The reason players don't fix inputs is because they don't know what the real problem is. So let me make it super concrete. The 4 biggest invisible problems in badminton. Why you stay stuck. First, your training is too clean. Everything is scripted. Your body is never forced to solve chaos. You do a lot of steps without real speed. Sorry, that's too... Yes, like this. You're too slow. You're training too slow. You do steps without real speed. The next one. Your training has no consequences. So, in matches, you lose points. In practice, you just redo the rep and pretend it's fine. Fried nervous system. Late nights plus stress. You scroll, you stress, you eat junk, you recover bad, then you wonder why you panic in the 3rd game. That leads us into point number 3. Competition isn't your issue. Competition is not your issue. Most players think everybody else is getting better except me. No, Most players are repeating the same mediocre programs. Let me give you an example. Go to any club practice, and what do you see? You do some non-brain activities like ladder drills, predictable multi-saddle patterns, shadow footwork with zero decision making, hard training where there's zero quality, only just to make you throw up or something. And then in matches, they're late, tense, and overthinking. And when you say competition is high, what you actually mean is I haven't built the skills that decide points. Because the truth is, the skills that separate levels is not who knows more drills. It's who can do these three things. Read earlier, decide faster, and execute under pressure. And those are trainable. So competition isn't your problem. Your training environment is. And this all leads to point number 4. Mediocre training won't work. It will never make you elite. I want to be blunt. If your training looks like everybody else's, your career will look like everybody else's. You'll be pretty good. You'll win some tournaments, lose some, you'll plateau, you get injured, and you repeat. Now you might be thinking, okay, what is mediocre training? Good question. Mediocre training is training that makes you feel productive, but doesn't transfer to real games, to match points. Here are concrete examples of productive looking training that often doesn't transfer. What I mentioned before, doing 20 minutes of ladder drills. I mean, you know the ladder footwork patterns and calling it speed training. Doing some random cone drills, shuttle mastery with no cues, tactical cues. Doing perfect net shots with no pressure, no intent, no follow-up. Doing multi-shuttle where you already know every feed, but without doing it really with a real speed. Doing gym work that makes you heavier, but not faster, like a bodybuilder. Training to fatigue instead of training to quality. Now, here's the brutal truth. Badminton is too fast for fake training. You cannot really stimulate chaos with predictable reps. So elite players are built by training that forces adaptation. So let me give you a replacement. If you want elite transfer, your practice must contain unpredictability, decision speed, tight spaces, real consequences, tempo changes, and pressure reps. We'll come back to exactly how to build that in point number 5. Because point number 5 is a big one. How to find your path in badminton. How do you do your thing? How do you find the training focus that actually moves your level? Because this is where most people get lost. They try everything. They try a little bit of technique, a little bit of gym, a little bit of footwork, and a little bit of tactics. And they end up with nothing. So here's the framework. There's only one thing more powerful than knowing. It's experience. Experience creates perspective. Perspective produces ideas, and ideas turn into plan. And in badminton, the experience you need is very specific. So instead of asking, what drills should I do? Start asking, where do I lose points? That's your path. Let's make it concrete. The 6 match situations that decide 80% of your level. Serve plus return quality. First 2 shots. Third shot, decision, attack, neutral, or control. Net KOs. Lift, push, kill, spin. Defense, transitions. Blocking, driving, lifting, counter-attacking. Rear, court, pressure. Smash, drop, half smash, plus actual follow-up and recovery, yeah. And pressure moments. It's 19 all, deciding set, pressure moments. Most training ignores these realities. So here's the key. You don't become elite by being good at everything. You become elite by getting very, very good in the situations that actually decide points. Now, let me give you a simple structure you can actually follow. The Badminton Enhanced weekly structure. It's very simple with high transfer. You should do twice a week small-sided games. It's tight space, something like box games, half court, high decisions. And 1 to 2 times a week you should do freestyle multi-saddle. It's not scripted multi-saddle, it's where you Start expanding your creativity and also your decision making. Normal match play 1 to 2 times a week. Full games, real scoring, real pressure. At least 2 times a week you should do speed plus change of direction. Do it short and high quality. And daily do recovery basics. Sleep, sunlight, food to recover your nervous system. Now, let's unpack the most important ones because this is where most players get it wrong. Small-sided games are instinct builders. Small court games force less time, more decisions per minute, real pressure with immediate feedback. Examples: half-court singles, no front court, or two-shot rally games, mid-court only attack games, small bucks, doubles drives, no lift games to force net plus drive. This is how you build timing and instinct and decision speed. And the B was freestyle multi-shuttle. This is where you train your creativity under fatigue, not patterns. Freestyle means feeder can place the shuttles anywhere and you must read and solve. You must choose shots, not repeat a script like most players do. Because drills build mechanics, but games plus freestyle build instincts. Now here's the caveat. If you do this but you train exhausted and sloppy, you will train bad habits. So we need point number 6. Start somewhere, but never train like a loser. What does this mean? Start somewhere but seek excellence in everything you do. This is where most athletes misunderstand hard work. Hard work is not doing more. Hard work is holding quality when you don't feel like it. Here's the rule. If quality drops, the set is over. Badminton is speed plus precision. If you train while sloppy and tense, you're training your nervous system to be slow, sloppy and tense. That's not toughness, that's self-destruction, and that will show in the real matches. Now, let me make this super practical. The quality rule. You should use this in every session. Stop the set when you get too much lactic acid, unless you want to expand your lactic acid training capability. And also when the feet get loud or very heavy. You feel your shoulders rising and so you get tense and usually your technique isn't okay when your shoulders rise a lot. And also when your shots become hope shots and when you stop seeing opponents' cues. So your tactical IQ isn't there anymore. Rest, reset and go again. Elite players don't train until they die. They train until their rep quality starts dying. So here were 6 very important points, and I have a few bonus ones. Now before I close, I want to give you 3 things that will save you years, because most players ignore these and wonder why nothing works. First one, you cannot out-train bad recovery. If you sleep late, scroll at night and live stressed, you will never feel fast consistently. Badminton is a nervous system sport. If your nervous system is cooked, your timing is cooked. So critically, sleep earlier, morning sunlight, real food, hydration, and a lot of off-screen time. And what happens is in the matches, you will feel slow even when you're fit. You will panic in third games, and you lose timing under pressure if you're not recovered properly. And this is very simple, but most players still won't do this. Okay. Next one. Most speed training is fake. Very huge one, especially in Asia. Long footwork sets doesn't equal speed. If you're doing 60-second footwork sets to music, that's just conditioning. Real speed training is 3 to 8 seconds. It's with maximal intent, with full focus, and with full rest. It's supposed to be very short, sharp, violent, and clean. If you feel tired during speed work, you're not really training speed. You're just training fatigue, and that's what most players do. And badminton, just look at Lokenu, Ginting, or these new rising stars like Alvi Farhan. Why they are good in badminton is 90% because of their speed. You will learn a lot about this later, but when your speed ceiling is higher, everything else slows down. You're suddenly more consistent with your shots because you're earlier, It just makes everything easier. And the third one, you're avoiding pressure reps. Most players train nice, but matches are not nice. They don't care how you feel. So you need pressure inside training. Score-based drills, consequence games, one chance reps. Play after mistakes, not just when you feel good. If you only train when you feel confident, you'll collapse when confidence disappears. Let me end with the truth. Badminton doesn't reward effort. It rewards correct effort under pressure consistently. Most players train hard. Only few train correctly. Most players chase comfort. Few chase adaptation. And nobody is coming to save your career. Not your coach, not your club, not your federation. If you don't build a system, you will drift. And drifting is how most badminton careers quietly end. This wasn't supposed to be motivation. This was supposed to be clarity. And if you want structure and real system, that's why Badminton Enhanced exists. And if not, that's fine. Most players won't act, and that's exactly why this gap exists and why the path stays open.